You need this shit in your life.
Y'all remember my last review I did on Marcel Dupree's work, Vetita Awakening, which if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check that out, link below. But today we're talking about Warbound. And just like last time, I am once again smacked in the face with the biggest of schlongs in terms of creativity, beautiful art, and a story that I can really sink my teeth into. We got this badass muscle-bound dude with luscious locks, and we basically learn where Warbound came from, why he's doing what he's doing, and why he just absolutely will not stop. He is unstoppable, his rage is uncontainable, and the blood just will not stop flowing. This man be hacking off limbs left and right, and it is beautiful. The book opens up at the Barren Woods Asylum for the Empowered and Insane. That's a name that just rolls off the tongue. And I mean that, by the way. I love it. Enter Dr. Kendra Jones, who's come to do an interview with our boy Warbound, an immortal vigilante on a quest for revenge. And that's really what this book is about. That's really what Warbound is about. He is a man on a mission, a very particular mission. As we learn with his interview with Dr. Kendra Jones, this attitude-riddled interview, I might add, I just love how he doesn't give her an inch, but she keeps her focus. She's not backing down. She's not letting herself get punked by this dude who could totally punt her head like it was a football. That means neither one of them are going back down, which means their exchanges are friggin' awesome. Also, we get a glimpse at what happens when our boy Warbound here gets a little too ragey. They give him the jolts. They give him the jolts, and that don't feel good. So it turns out he was a head honcho in a village long ass time ago. Life was good. Had himself a nice, loving, lusciously thick wife. Had lots of other warriors who would fight with him, and they would go out and spear crocodigators and all that good shit. Until some evil ass sorcerer shows up and just starts tearing ass. Now, luckily for Warbound and crew, they have their own sorcerer, and the good sorcerer and the bad sorcerer do battle. The good sorcerer loses, and when that happens, the village, unfortunately, does not survive. Everyone suffers a very grim, gruesome fate, including Warbound's family. Warbound himself gets fatally wounded, but he doesn't die. Before the village sorcerer bites the dust, he imbues Warbound with what turns out to be a curse. I'm sure he wouldn't have said it's a curse, but it's actually a curse. As long as the evil sorcerer lives, Warbound will live. Which means if it takes him 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years, he's gonna end up in a world that he has no connection to. And even if he gets his revenge, it's going to kill him. He's been fighting to find and destroy this sorcerer ever since. It just so happens that along the way he runs into other terrible people who he dispatches with haste. So he ends up becoming a legendary warrior who survives throughout time, motivated by one fueling desire: revenge. Now, we could all sit here and make moral arguments about how that's not right and how you shouldn't live for revenge and stuff, and yeah, I'd most likely agree with you. But I love stories like this because they put you in the mindset of someone who you don't agree with, perhaps. Or maybe you think it's totally valid. But either way, you have to put yourself in his shoes. It's important to deal with people who don't necessarily make the right decisions all the time. Or even when they do, they don't do them for the most altruistic reasons. Because when you really break it down, comic books, superhero stories, all of this is art. Art is a reflection of the human mind, the human experience and condition, the things we feel and see and do, the things we love and hate, the things we desire, the things we fear. And as such, this tale is a look into the mind of a man who's been living with nothing but revenge on his mind for hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, just like with Vetita, the art is absolutely sick. I just love the expressions on these guys' faces. They're all so real. They're all so dynamic. I know I'm looking at a comic, and yet I don't feel like I'm looking at a comic, if that makes any sense. These people feel like they could actually exist, but I'm glad they're on this page so we can get this beautifully, lusciously colored, panels here, especially when we're talking about the magic and energy shots. Oh my goodness. I love standard hand-to-hand combat, but I love power and magic infused hand-to-hand combat. That is my shit. If anything I've said has piqued your interest, go into the description, click the link, go there, go to the website. They have so much dope shit up there. This is not the last book I will be covering from Marcel Dupree or Evolution's publishing. It just ain't happening, okay? So this is gonna be it for me today. This is it for this episode of Unsigned Hype, but I will be back. There will be more, and y'all are buying these damn books, okay? Y'all gonna stop acting like you don't need this shit in your life, cause you do. Spoiler alert.
Message!
And I can't end the video without thanking my patrons over at Patreon. I'm so happy to have y'all with me on this ride. I don't know what to do. And if you have not checked out Patreon yet, you really need to go over there. I'm not just dropping art. I'm not just dropping exclusive pages. I'm not just dropping sketches. I'm dropping music, originally composed music. I'm dropping voice lines. Y'all need to come through, man. If you have not checked it out, I'm telling you right now, for $2 a month, you can be a part of this journey and this community, and I would love to have you. But that's gonna be all for me today. Thank y'all for watching and listening. I'm Anime, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.